Welcome back to Spice Box. Today I'm going to show you how to make Mongolian chicken. Now this is one of the quickest chicken recipes that I've come across. It takes 15 minutes of your time. It could take lesser than that if you have your chicken and green onions chopped and your sauce ready, then literally it's just 5 minutes. So let's get started. To make the Mongolian chicken, you will need chicken, chicken stock, spring onion greens, spring onion whites, coriander leaves. And for the sauce, you will need tomato ketchup, vinegar, food color, sugar, red chili powder, and garlic cloves. Now for the marination part, you will need salt, pepper, an egg, all-purpose flour and corn flour. So I'm going to start marinating the chicken. Now to marinate the chicken, you use 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of corn flour, and 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper powder, and an egg. So you just combine this first before you add the egg. Now you mix this well enough till you get a smooth batter. So once you get a smooth batter like this, now you can add a pinch of food color. I'm just doing a small pinch. Now you can put in the chicken pieces for marination. Combine this, and now you can set this aside and allow this to marinate. Now while that is marinating, I'm going to start working on the sauce. So in a smaller skillet, I'm going to start preparing the sauce. So you wait for the oil to heat and then you put in the red chili powder. So you fry the chili powder for a few seconds. Now you put in the crushed garlic. You fry this till it's a little fragrant, and then you can put the spring onion whites. Again, you fry this for a few seconds. And now you can pour in the chicken stock. Pour in the chicken stock and you boil this for a few minutes. So this has begun to simmer. You can now put in the tomato ketchup. So I'm using 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. Give this a little stir, followed by a teaspoon of vinegar, again you stir this, and then you add a pinch of sugar. That's exactly a pinch which I have here. And now you can season this with a little bit of pepper and salt. So that's 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, because I've already added salt to the marinade. Stir this and you let this simmer for a few seconds. Now you can add corn flour to this. So I'm going to dissolve the corn flour with the remaining of the chicken stock that I have here. So I'm using a tablespoon of corn flour. Now this depends on the quantity of chicken that you're using. So I've used 300 grams of chicken. So I've used 1 tablespoon of corn flour. You can now pour in this corn flour liquid, but just keep continuously stirring. So you cook this on very low heat till you get a sauce-like consistency. Now you can also add in the spring onion greens and the coriander leaves. So the sauce is done. I'm going to keep this aside and get working on the chicken. So I have the chicken which is already marinated. Now in another wok you heat oil. Wait for the oil to turn hot. Once the oil is hot, you reduce the heat and then you can start putting in the pieces of chicken. So the oil is hot. I'm going to reduce the heat and start putting in the pieces of chicken. You fry the chicken till it's cooked or golden brown. So the chicken is done. You can now turn off the heat and remove this from the oil. You can place them on a tissue paper so that the excess oil gets absorbed. So now it's back to the sauce. So when you're putting in the chicken, just make sure that you need to have a bigger wok. So I put the sauce into a bigger wok, and now it's time to put in the fried chicken pieces. The reason why I said a bigger wok so that it becomes easy to combine the sauce and the chicken. So you stir this up till each of the chicken pieces are coated in sauce. You can finish this off with the rest of the spring onion greens and the coriander leaves. So I'm going to put in a little more of the coriander leaves and the spring onion greens. Just gently stir this. So here you go, we have our chicken Mongolian dish ready. You can now garnish this with a little bit of spring onions. Now this is a popular Chinese American dish. If you are a fan of Chinese American, you should give this a try, and you may never want to order a takeout ever again.